No, that was the wrong button. Hi there, everyone. Hi and welcome. Hello and welcome into yet another live stream. Hi there. Hi and cheers and welcome and such. Now, today we will be doing a bunch of things, but first of all, let me just... First of all, let me get my lab coat. Okay. What was that? Well, Adrian, that was my background. That's my desktop background. Have you seen Richard made a long video? He's back. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen that he made it. I haven't seen the video. Instead, I started the live stream. Okay, hold on. Let me just. Okay, I got my lab coat on. So today, we've got a couple of things to do. Just a couple. Welcome to my lab. I've done some things. First of all, the mask has the eyes. This is just a prototype, kind of a proof of concept. But this is roughly what the final thing will look like. You can see I've added the one-sided eyes, which means right now I can kind of wear it. I can't see shit because I've done it really quickly and without much care. So I'm just gonna put the mask to the side for now. That was the first thing. It's beautiful. I was watching it, then you went live. Oh, I'm so sorry I interrupted then. That's the first thing. Now, second thing, I don't know how many of you have actually seen my video, the most recent one, but in it I did mention that I wanted to cover an industrial piercing in fluorescent material. Right now there isn't any because it's metal and it's really a bitch to get anything to it. However, I bought some glue, and what I thought I could do is I could just try to dissolve some, fluorescence into the glue, some carbon dots, hopefully. The problem there being that, first of all, this still has a fair bit of solvent in it, and I'm kind of worried that the ethanol will not let the glue do the whole adhesive thing, which will mean that it will nullify the whole thing, which will mean that will be absolutely useless and a waste of time. I'm still willing to try it though. The only problem is we need to somehow mix the glue and the fluorescent material together, which is tricky because I don't have a lot of any. I don't have a lot of either. So we'll need to have a lot of either, and I need something for mixing. Where are all my baguettes? Guys, baguettes. Watching you handling the glow stuff makes me nervous. Why? Why does it make you nervous? I suppose this jar right here should be as good as any. Oh, that's a lot. Oh my goodness. I mean, if I run out, I can just make more, I guess. I can always just make more. It's not like the recipe is that difficult. Kinda trivial, actually. Simple as it could be. Because you're throwing it around like a pen. It's not dangerous. It's just glowing. Glowing stuff don't have to be dangerous. Yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about. The glue doesn't seem to be... Yeah, the ethanol is breaking down the glue. Haha, fuck. Ah, fuck. Can I extract the solvent somehow? Well, I imagine, yeah. Wait, if I wash out the carbon dots with burnt ethanol away, if I burn it away, that's gonna break the carbon dots. What if I make some more and then I centrifuge it and I extract the carbon dots? What if I extract the carbon dots with water instead of ethanol? Yes. Genius. Because all I've got right now is goop, effectively. Is the goop fluorescent? I mean, at least it's fluorescent. That's good. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna hold. I don't have a watch glass or anything, because, we're low on the budget side. But I do have my burning plate, which we're gonna use. I'm just gonna place the... There we go. Now technically, oh, that's I have made, oh, that's very fluorescent. I have made a mistake. That's the word I'm looking for, I do believe. I don't think it's gonna stick. My hopes are not high. I kinda skipped the 1000 plus streams, so could you tell me what we're doing? Actually, the only context you need for this live stream is the most recent video I made. I haven't really worked on the fluorescent stuff on streams much. There we go. It looks lovely. It looks really, really lovely. The only problem is I don't think it's gonna stick. That's a big issue. Did Lilith make fluorescent glass? Ideally I could like dunk it into it and oh, this pickle. How do they coat this sort of thing? I know! I'm a genius. Well, either a genius or it's gonna fail spectacularly. But hey, I'm willing to test it out. Okay. I need something to grab you. Ah, fuck it, no I don't. Please tell me that did something at least. Oh, well, I mean... Something indeed happened. Did... Oh! First of all, that is way more fluorescent. That's first things first. Besides, hold on, where did I put the vial? Fluorescent, there it is. Is it? Okay, about as much. Never mind. I take it back. It's that the other one that I did. But second of all, some of it seems to be sticking. Now this is just a test. This is just a test drive. If it works, then I'll try coating the actual thing. Glowing slightly. There is some fluorescent material, but I feel like we might be ruining it with heat. Or are we? I feel like if it dries up, it's not gonna do anything. You know what? I'll just let it dry up in the sun. We'll see how it stands later on. Just a little bit. I'm thinking how I could cover it, how I can cover it better. I'm struggling, I'll be honest with you. Okay, I left it out in the open. I do have a second piercing, because I bought two. So I do have a second completely brand new one, and well, my hope was I could use the first piercing to test everything out, and then I have a viable method for coverage with the second one. However, so far I don't know. I would need to extract the carbon dots. This is very fluorescent. I just don't know how to make the fluorescent stick. If I could mix the carbon dots with something that eats away at metal, then I feel like that would also ruin the carbon dots themselves. It's like with some kind of oxidizing agent, right? If I mix carbon dots into an oxidizing agent, and I just leave it in there to marinate for a bunch. Good test now, I guess. Whatever. Well, that was it with testing wise for the stream. Just a quick little test we had going on. I'm gonna put the burning plates away again. It's really convenient. I do have to say, every one of you, you all need to get yourself a burning plate. Just one plate. Take one plate out of your kitchen and dedicate it solely to burning. And then that's gonna be your burning plate. And you know, when you need to set something on fire, you're not worrying about, oh, what is it gonna do to my table or something. No, you have a plate dedicated for that specific activity. It's great. Yes, that was the introduction. That was the quick little bit on the beginning of the live stream. I might be getting open to suggestions. I need to, like, not a heat-resistant burn plate. No, a normal plate will do fine. They're good. They're fine. I am starting to get a bit uncertain in my methods. Anyone got any ideas how I can attach some fluorescent material, some carbon dots, to a titanium bar? That would be just swell. If anyone could give me any tips. Anyway, as you can probably hear in the background, I am printing. I am in fact printing in the background. What am I printing? So glad no one asked. It is... I've amended the mask again. Ask politely for them to stick. I haven't tried that actually. That's a maybe. I've done this, which is the same old mask. However, I did amend the back part a bit to add these holes. And these are the holes where we have the screws. And so... right now I'm printing this part right here and this connector right here. Once they're all printed, I can take them out, I can put them on the table, we can see how they end up, and then I'll need to print this bar or this strip with TPU and see if it's gonna stick. I also need to measure everything out and so on and so forth. However, today I was gonna do something different. Anyone remembers what I was gonna do today? I didn't say, did I? That makes sense, because I was planning to do some electronics and planning, and electricity and such. Okay. First of all, what we'll need is we'll need the camera to zoom in much more, because right here I have this, which is a general PCB. General PCBs obviously have a reputation for being terrible. Mainly because they are. They absolutely are terrible. Looks like a belt. I mean, it is meant to be a sort of belt. Head belt. Now, general PCBs have a reputation for being terrible. That is because they are in fact terrible. However, I don't fancy waiting around for weeks or a week, I don't know what the delivery times nowadays, for a custom PCB, and that's why we're gonna use the general one. Now, for those who do not know, making of general PCBs is a process that's tedious, annoying, and horrible. And also, it would help if my camera was pointed at the thing that I'm making. That would also be really convenient. So if you don't mind. Does that help? Ever so slightly. You know what, I'll take it. Right here. So, if you remember from my most recent video, these are all the components we should be familiar with, except for the microphone. I have in fact removed the microphone. Why? Well, because I feel like for the microphone we're gonna go with something a bit more sophisticated in the future. Maybe some kind of dedicated module that can record stuff higher quality and such. And so I am replacing it with... Actually, should I even replace it? I was thinking about replacing it with this, which I'm pretty certain is a infrared detector. But now that I think about it, the ADC pins, that's the real problem. See, ADC pins are really valuable because there aren't many of them on the Pico. There we go. So I don't want to waste them. Okay, the other parts are pretty simple though. We're gonna have 2 buttons for debugging. I imagine one of them will be for selection, the other one will be for... Well, one of them will be for selecting a selection and the other one will be for the selecting of the selection. It's pretty simple. The debug LED will have the buzzer, because of course we need some sounds, tiny screen, and my beloved button, which I absolutely adore, for which we also need the resistor. So, where is my resistor? Oh, did I lose it already? I could salvage it from this little thing I made. That was for the intro to the video. It's a little lamp. There's a resistor at the very beginning. I could just salvage it. Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty then. Now, KiCad. And let's look at all the things I've planned. How are you all doing, by the way, on this fine day? How are all of your days going? So rude of me for not asking. I'm great. I'm glad to hear you're great. I'm glad to hear you're great, Adrian. Okay. So, I really am glad to hear you are great. And then in this case we have this, which is design. So, LED is simple, debug LED. We have the connector. This one is the important one because we have the debug button between the ground and the debug button itself, which means we can solder together the ground pin and the debug button. We can just place the connector, we can just place the resistor connector on the pins themselves, save us a bit of hassle. Then okay, we'll figure this out. So first of all, what we'll need is ideally, I'm gonna start recording on this, I'm gonna use it in the video. What we're gonna need is ideally a common ground and a common voltage, because we have multiple things which will require constant voltage. Well, multiple, only 2 of them actually. So we can keep the voltage for later and only put it on this side, that's reasonable. Every single one of these components, however, will require ground. This one, this one, this one, this one. They will all require ground. So ideally we like some kind of ground going down the middle, and this ground should be easily accessible. So what we could do is we could just take a tiny little wire and we can remove the jack and just playing around with new electronic panel I got and planning some future purchases, so pretty good. Oh, I get what you mean. I have myself ordered a bunch more electronics for absolutely no reason. I suppose it motivates me to deal with these electronics before I move on to even more electronics. That's good. Okay. Let's do it then. This live stream will be a very practical one, which means we'll mostly spend it here. What have you ordered? Ah, mate. Electric heater is one of them. I remember that one. I ordered a couple of like multiplexes. Oh no, bit shift stuffs. Those ones. Those integrated circuits. Also some audio amplifiers, speaker. I don't remember exactly the rest. Mickey, how many times have you been shocked Electro Boom style? I don't think even once. I mean, okay, there was this one time when I was electrolyzing sulfuric acid back in the day, and I had this like exposed AC to DC converter, you know, power supply. And it was completely exposed and it fell on my lap, and so I instinctively like caught it with my hand and got shocked with like 230 volts of AC current. But other than that, not really. I try to get shocked at least 3 times a day. I'm not dealing with voltages that are high enough for me to get shocked. The only times I deal with these voltages is during electrolysis, but then I really snapped the first wire in half. It's pointless. I do need to move the camera because this is ridiculous. Can I like bring you up a bit higher? No, I can't. Hold on. Give me a second. I need to up the camera because this is ridiculous. This angle will not do it at all in the slightest. There we go. Now we can be doing stuff. Alright. I was planning to get an oscilloscope, so I'm into analog stuff. Oh, I would love to have an oscilloscope, but they are so expensive. Oscilloscopes are so expensive. It would be so helpful to have one. To have that fix and, well, debugged an OLED screen with an oscilloscope. Simply. And basically saved himself a week of a headache trying to figure out how a circuit is broken by realizing that it wasn't broken, only was the OLED screen that was burnt for some reason. Just make one. Make an oscilloscope. I mean, with ADC pins, I could make something very oscilloscope-ish, but it wouldn't be all that useful. Hi there, Phoebe! Hi, how you doing? This is going to be a very therapeutic stream, I do have to say. Just, like, hour or so, or 2 hours of me just making stuff in the background. Feeling great, how about you? I'm fine. There we go, chip all of this very slowly away. Ah, beautiful. So now we've got just a little bit of I guess I don't need to use these pre-cut ones because I do just have solid core wire sitting next to me, but whatever. This will be our ground. That will be going over like so. This. Okay. Making a signal has a sine square and a triangle which you can then tap into an output. Let's have it go down around the middle, because I feel like that would be quite helpful. Yeah, we don't need it to go quite to the end, but this way should be fine. There we go. I'm mostly making this circuit not because it will be all that useful, but simply because I need to get better at making things in general, as I mentioned. And I've been really lacking with like circuits and electronics, I've recently realized. So I feel like this is a great way to push myself a bit over the edge to really get that. So we'll start the ground. Right here we have VCC ground out, which is convenient because ground is right next to out, which means we can easily connect it with a resistor. The only problem is that they might be a bit too close. Do you have a 3D printer? Yes, I do have a 3D printer. It's printing in the background right now as we speak. You can probably even hear it. There we go. I would also like to add the 7-segmented display of the side. I was thinking of soldering it to the other pads. Jesse. Exactly, this is Jesse. Okay. The soldering iron is hot, So it's time to begin. Let me just have a... You should try Lost PLA casting. What is Lost PLA casting? Let me remove the buzzers so that you can see better. Time to breathe in those lead fumes. Hi there, Rayhan. Ever heard of BFDI? I don't think I have. Bloomstown, no, it's not BFDI. I don't know what BFDI is. You print free prints on your PLA, you put stuff around it, you let PLA melt, and you can cast the aluminum. I don't feel like the 3D printer is the most important thing in that process. If I'm gonna do metal shopping, I feel like there's a fair bit more equipment that would be more expensive than a 3D printer. There we go. So right here we'll have our ground wire going across. Now, what should we start with? I really like this button. I really do. We might start with this one. I imagine on the side right here we'd have I imagine right here we could have like power input. I mean, if we have the ground pin over there already, we could add the pins. I know that the ground going cross will be very useful because that's what always helps me. Battle for Dream Island. I don't know what Battle for Dream Island is. What is that? We could start the LED, I suppose. Yeah, let's start it simple enough. LED. The short one, how convenient. We're going to bend this one out for now. Then we're going to bend this one like so. Shit. Probably cheaper than Doom Eternal. I mean, in my case. Okay, there we go. We'll have the LED going out like this. Lovely. It could be not too bad if I set all of the pins going in like this on this side. That could be a bit convenient. Okay, so we have the LED. This should work. Then the mask should run Doom. I don't know. I feel like Raspberry Pi 5 can run Doom. So once I integrate that into the mask, it will. We want the buzzer around here, so we need to do the minus to the ground. Maybe we could even bring it a bit closer. Like that would be a smart choice. I already forgot which one is the plus and which one is the minus. Get in. Nah, whatever. You can go like this, it's fine. Makes absolutely no sense connections wise. Yeah, well, fuck it. We have the ground going in like this, which means if we solder it this way, that should be fine. Okay. We don't need to use the pre-cut one, we can use just the proper one. Which means right here. And then from this pin right there to the middle. That's basically what we want. This will be very therapeutic stream. A slight making a circuit ASMR. To relax and study too. I just got an idea actually. Esteban, the mold idea you just said, that just gave me an idea. What if I make the mold for the piercing? Because then we can pour in all of the fluorescent glue mixture in there. And that should be that. Shouldn't it? Yes. Yes! Very much yes. Oh, that is really clever. I like it. Oh, I'm so glad I thought of that right now, because that was... Covering that piercing was one of the... It was really on my head. It was weighing heavy. Because I invested so much into this project, and for it to fail at the end, that would just be a bit upsetting. Okay, this. Hi, this is Bus. At least to give you something. There we go. Now we cover this. We pop this into the ground. We move this over. No. There we go. The entire conversation just died completely. Have we really got nothing? About those tensions in the Middle East, am I right? Oof. Bend this. Now we can solder this to the ground. If I make a mold for the piercing, if I leave the glue in there, do you reckon the glue is actually gonna stick? Because it feels like it, doesn't it? I can't tell if you're all just sitting silently or if no one's watching the live stream. Or maybe my YouTube glitched out. That doesn't have an option though. Let me see. Nope, it seems fine. There we go. Okay. So right here what we got is we've got the buzzer connected to the ground. Now we need the pin to connect outwards so that it would go off. And for that we're going to use the yellow wire. I was brushing my teeth, so trusting was a bit hard. Okay, I understand. Alright, I get it. Oh, I went way too hard with this one. Way too long. Oh, if I had the nickel, am I right? Right here, that's what I want to call it. There we go. Now the other side we need a lot more removed. There we go. I can remove even more on both sides actually. Come on, get off the wire. Ah, you twat, get off. I'm at school now, my school is more interesting, got nothing to do anyway. Cool. Studying feels like a thing people do at schools. But oh hey, I'm not judging. I clearly didn't study. I dropped out. See kids, this is why you should pay attention at school. You don't want to end up like me. At whatever age it is that I am, just bending wires in my apartment. Alone. Just... Oh, you little prick! There, I'm gonna prevent you. Wire bender, Sidequaza, how you doing? Yeah, I reckon this would be good as a second connector. I need my finger a bit close to it when soldering, which will be a bit upsetting. Unless I can place it down. Oh, you little prick again! We have it. We got the buzzer and the LED. We can test it actually right away. I don't see why not. Procrastinating from work. Okay, yeah, that is how I always. that is the effect I have on people. Should probably resume studies soon. Ah. Yep. I have been told on multiple occasions that I am great as a distraction. Okay, time to test it out. We need our Pi Pico. This is our Pi Pico. I'm going to place this on the ground for now. And then with the Pico, we're going to connect all the things accordingly. So, first of all, we need to connect the ground to the ground, then we need to connect the signals to the signals. Ground to ground. Oh, I hope this is enough. It's a bit of a short connection. I also need to turn on my VS Code. Okay. Alright. Right here we have the main. We don't actually care for it, the buzzer, that's what we care about. So, connection first, that's important. I do have a USB cable, just basically for this kind of scenario. Come on. There we go. Now we start new terminal. We should also get the there we have it. So pin 0 in this case would be the LED, pin 1 would be the buzzer. Orange, LED, yellow buzzer. Oh, I just snapped them so hard. It desoldered instantly. Oh, that's great. Okay. The point is, right here, if we do this... Hold on. It didn't even work. Oh yeah, because I didn't connect the ground. Because the ground disconnected. There we go. Lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Why use a Pi Pico and not like a free because it's cheaper? What do you mean? Okay. This is lovely. Now the only problem is that the thing desoldered. Let me just... Oh, we need it upside down at the moment. Why not use a P5 instead of the Pi Pico? Well, it's because the P5 is a microcomputer and I need a microcontroller. Never done anything with it. How should I put this? Think of Raspberry Pi 3 like your computer and Raspberry Pi Pico like a calculator. I don't know how, well, not really. Because a Pico itself is just stronger than a calculator. So the analogy doesn't hold too well, but... The point is Raspberry Pi 3, I have a Pi 5, but Raspberry Pi 3 as well is a computer, a fully functional one. A Pico, however, is a microcontroller, which means it's meant... I always like to describe them as basically like just little things that turn code into electrical signals. Because that's, well, it's good enough. Has no memory or RAM. Oh no, it has all those things. That's why it's kind of difficult to explain. Because, like, yeah, the Pico is also a computer. It's how should I put this? When you write a program, let me use 0 as an example, because 0 works just as well. This is 0 2, which I suppose would be comparative probably to Pi 3. When you write a program on this machine, then you have an operating system that runs the program. When you run a program on this, then the entire program is your operating system. It's smaller, it's lighter, it has less things, but at the same time cheaper. Okay, so that was pin 0, which still functions. Now from machine import PWM. That's a bit of a problem because it should be buzzing now. Shit. If I connect a LED between the two, will you be glowing? You're not. That's a bit of a bitch, isn't it? Damn it. Damn it and dagnabbit. Now I'm gonna have to be debugging buzzer, won't I? And what a fun day I've gotten myself into. There are 2 more things I should be doing, by the way. That's because this one was just kind of because, as I mentioned, I'm not doing much with electronics, so I wanted to get myself into the vibe. However, the actual meat and potatoes are the 2 PCBs we should, well, 1 PCB we should be designing that I really want. Allow me to put it into perspective for you. Right here in our mask, at the top, in between this plate and the front plate, we've got a little bit of space. Quite a lot of space, in fact, which is very convenient. And so what I want to do, if I change transparency or even suppress it, why not? Hide. There we go. What I would like to do is I would really like a little stripe of multicolor LEDs at the top. And one of the electric components I ordered was an RGB LED, a tiny one. I ordered a bunch of them and I thought that maybe we could test them out a bit and then figure out how they work, and if we know how they work, we could design a PCB that would nicely fit in right here, cables of which could go like across this and to the Pico, how convenient, and then we could fit it in. Fitting it in shouldn't be too difficult, there's a fair bit of space, I have it all designed. The only problem we do have is we need to make a PCB for it. So my thought was we could today, because I don't have the LEDs yet, we could actually just get a bunch of... We could set up a simple system with 2 of these LEDs that will not work, so will not be functional. However, we would set them up just to get the workflow properly in KiCad. Because I don't know if you remember the last time when I was trying to make the PCB, I struggled because I didn't know how to make the footprints, which is kind of important. So yeah, I feel like that would be a good thing for us to do right now. Also another thing, oh my goodness, there's just more and more. Whenever I look at this thing, there are so many more things to do every single time. Because right here we also need a hole that's at the bottom. It just reminded me. Like right here we need a hole, and right here we need a hole. And then we need like a bar that goes across, holds it up in place. Or like at this corner. Damn it! If it's not one thing, it's another. I guess it's still me being productive in there. Okay, this, and then this, I imagine. And let's just... actually, I like the idea of it being in the middle. Now, the distance between the two, that has to be a constant, so let's say that's 30. And now we should be able to rotate this one easily. Right? Yeah. And then right here... Ideally, I imagine the distance from the bottom to the middle should be the same as from the middle to the top. Gives us a little bit of wiggle room, not much. This one is thin. We could bring it a bit lower. Oh, it's a pissing mess. Pissing mess is what it is. Can I edit the fillet a bit, actually? Like if I... This edge wasn't even selected. We can... We can change it to 5. Yes, 5 will give us a lot more space to work around with. Now what else? At the top, I would also like to already make some preparations for the LED strip. And the easiest way I can imagine it... Oh no, that's not how it's printed. The easiest way I can imagine it would not work. Because of the way it's printed. That's annoying. If I make an opening like this, that won't work either. I could do it at an angle. That's risky. Very risky. I guess we'll have to leave it there. One difference, however, I would like is it's a bit thick. And if we could just bring it up somehow. How did we make this? This way, okay. If I bring it down to 3, will it break? It will. Shit. What happens if I bring it down to 3 and then I go in here? What are you? Oh, you. I bring down to 2. Yes. Right. And then you on the corners. Bring down to a 10. Possibly even less. 8. A bit rough. Okay. Well, unless we make an opening there. Don't you want the little angles of the glass for the eyes is closer to the mask? I want it further from the mask, actually. That's because that will give me space for the LEDs. Not a lot, mind you, but some. This has to stay the way it is, because this already will be pushing the thickness. I mean, I suppose that's good, I guess. Yeah, I suppose it's good, whatever. And then... the only thing I would add... Well, first of all, we need to finish the holes. Right, we need to finish this setup. Yeah, they can move around freely. Well, one of them can move. I'm set them to be equal, and this one will be a 4, because that's the standard. And the angle doesn't really matter much. However, what we could do is we could do like this. No. What we could do is we could do this going straight down for construction. Not bad. Perfection-ish. Okay, so this is the needed. This will give us an additional support at the bottom for the glass thing. It might be a bit. It seems like a bit of an overkill, but oh well, whatever. Another thing we need is right here, a place for the nuts. Because with this setup, we won't be able to fit in the nuts. Right here, we might be able to fit in the nuts, although I wouldn't trust it either way. So we're gonna have to make a little bit of a spot to fit in the nuts. And that's gonna be easy. Just set up these. How did I miss that? I need to play more FPS games. My aim in SolidWorks is abysmal. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 equal. Beautiful. Then right here, this one has to be collinear to this one. That's correct. These two have to be collinear, and these two have to be collinear. This I do believe is already set up proper. Yeah, now we extrude one of them, all of them extrude as well. Which is convenient because now we can just set this up to be, I don't know, 4 I think. 4 should be more than enough. And then all we need is make a little bit of a cut. At the top, it's gonna scrap it, but oh well. 2 millimeters. Ah, is it because of this right here? You lot are unbelievable. Fine, I'm changing it. Alright, how about now? Can you extrude the cut now, please? You can. That was the problem. Good. There we go. Those will just make the entire process a bit easier. And if we get back to the mask now, we should have a little bit more space. Don't we? We do! We have a lot more space, in fact. Like lots and lots and lots more space. So that's good. Then all we need is the connectors at the bottom to, well, hold it in place. The 4 at the top feels like an overkill at this point. But yeah, at the bottom, like 2 going across, that will hold it up. And once we're done with that, we can make the preparations. So right here, we'll have the LED strip going. And we'd really like the Well, that's a good question. What do we really like? Well, we'd really like, I imagine, power ground and the data pins going in. How is the data gonna go in? Once again, phenomenal question. I think on the clues. We'll need to do some research on the LEDs I ordered. But first, once again, let's not get distracted. Let's do the boring necessary first. I think it was 30, correct? I'm pretty certain. This one's gonna be as trivial as it gets. It's just gonna be this. Nothing fancy. There we go. And it's going to be mod advisor. Up B, I suppose. I don't know. Okay. Right, I need to import it. That's how it works. Makes sense. Makes sense, you need to add something in order to add it. Beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I've done it very quickly and without much care, but I mean, it's a piece of plastic. Rectangular piece of plastic. I feel like that's good enough. It looks a bit silly as well. Nah, I don't care. Okay, so we've got this. Now, let's start by doing some research. First things first. I need to look up the LEDs I've ordered. Why am I so sleepy? I'm keep sipping coffee throughout this entire live stream and still just feel exhausted. Right, my account, my shopping, yes. Just drink more coffee. I'm sipping on coffee throughout this entire stream. Okay, so it appears to be... It appears to be, if I am not to be mistaken, WS2812B datasheet, if I'm right. I should go to bed like 8 AM. No, I went to bed normal time. I woke up today at 8 in the morning. This seems correct. Seems like the right one, yeah. Wait, is it? It seems like the one I ordered has 6 pins. That's gonna be fun. Oh no, I think they have double pins for plus and minus for power. Alright, that makes sense. Why is all of it like grey? Is it you? Oh, piss off, mate. Okay, so there we go. We have the input, we have the output, we have the ground, the voltage. Okay, now how do you control the pin? Just out of curiosity. Hi, the caper. It's about possible looking before the push request for the charity website still current. If you've got something, yeah. Although that was a really long time ago, so I have absolutely nothing set up for accepting any modifications. That was a really long time ago. However, it is absolutely still current because I'm shit when it comes to front-end development. Alright, let's see. For the character, yeah. Okay. So we have high voltage now, high voltage now, high voltage now. Okay. Right, so this is a 0 and a 1 code. Okay. Aid method, what now? I'm sorry, okay. Allow me to get another huge sip of coffee for this. Okay. Right. Of D1 is sent by MCU and the through pixel amplification. Transmit. Okay, so they all receive the same data, right? Because that, not gonna lie, that would actually be convenient. Okay, so they're all connected to the... Right. Oh wait, that's it? No, please. I need more. Do you have anything else? Other fruit. Oh no! Okay. Intelligent control LED light source, like control circuit. And RGB chip are integrated in a package of... It's internal include intelligent wait, what? Amplification drive circuit. Also include the precision programmable constant current control path, effectively ensuring the pixel point light color height constant. Okay. The data transfer protocol single NFZR communication mode. Okay, that's good. I can supplement resources would be nice. Once I percent by condition. Okay, if the pixel panel reset the input receive data from controller. The first pixel collect initial 24-bit data, then send the internet data latch the older data, which reshaping by internet reshaping application circuits and the next cascade pixel through the DO port. After transmission for each pixel, the signal to reduce 24-bit pixel adopt auto reshaping transmitting technology, making pixel cascade number is not. Is it just me or is it like not exactly English? Pixel adopt auto reshaping transmit technology, making the pixel cascade number is not limited to the signal transmission, only depend on the speed of signal transmission. Right, okay. LED with long range. Yeah, I mean the small size, I'll give you that. It's very impressive what you can do, but how do you use it? So we have. Okay. This is convenient. So TOH, we have all of the timings here. In microseconds, I'm pretty certain as far as the Pico goes, trivial. It should handle it just fine. So we can implement this ourselves, which is nice. Okay, so 0 code is T0 high, T0 low. That makes sense. Alright, so these in combinations together make our 1s and 0s. And then we have the reset, which is just off. Right. Oh, so depending on how many of them you have, you just add more and more. Okay. That makes... Oh my goodness, that's lovely. Okay. Okay. Right. Oh shit, that makes sense. That does make sense. Oh, I love that. Okay. I think I got it. I'm guessing. The LEDs haven't arrived yet, so I cannot test it. How long till they arrive, by the way? Hold on, let me see my app. How long till they arrive? Because I think I might have got it. A bit. Oh, 2 packages just came in. How convenient. I think they all just arrived. Every single one of them. How convenient. Okay. This is great news because I think I understand how it works now. It makes sense if a reset code is used for resetting like the communication. Then it doesn't make sense because it would mean that the first LED only listens into it to the first bit it gets. And then it makes sense because if you have like 7 LEDs connected together, right? It does make sense. If you have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, 5 of them. Then if you send 5 bytes of data, the first one only takes in the first byte. Well, 24 bits, so I guess first 3 bytes. Doesn't matter. You get what I mean. And then sends over the rest. And from the perspective of the next one, all it receives is this rest, which means the next one, once again, only reads the first 3 bytes and sends the rest. And as such, you don't actually need to let them know which one in a sequence they are. That is clever, really clever. I like that a lot. Ah, it's tempting. And my packages literally came right now. I'm not joshing you. I went to check, and then as I was checking the app, I got a notification that says that they all came. Well, 3 of them came. There's still 1 on the way, which, if I'm unlucky, will be the one I actually need with the LEDs. No, I don't think so. Okay. Okay then. Okay. I'm gonna go then pick up the packages. Also, there's one more thing I need to do that off stream. Because let's be real, we all noticed that I was really not in the mood today, haven't I? I don't know why I'm feeling so like tired, exhausted, sleepy. I just need to get some movement going, you know? I'm gonna go pick up the packages. That will give me some movement. Go for a walk, go for a run, fight some bears in the forest, you know, normal typical stuff. And then I'll be back in like 2 or maybe 3 hours. And hopefully we'll do something fun. Okay, and for now, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.